Yeah. Click, clack, charts attack, candlesticks, they spark the track. Lead move silent, market crack, profit stack, no turning back. Opening range, that's the game. Breakout hits, never the same. Algorithms play, but he rewires the frame. Banks whisper his name. Flipping forex, indices flex, numbers dance. What's coming next? Green lights flash, P&L stretch. Risk managed, he never sweats. West fact buzz and traders peep. Lessons deep, no time to sleep. Market's a beast, Lee's got the leash. Feast at the feast, his game's elite. Market structures is domain. Leads the king, they know his name. Breakout sharp, he fuels the flame. Trading charts is not a game. Pip by pip, he stacking high. Mean reversion, banks comply. Leads the reason markets run. Leads the reason markets run. Candles lit, wicks on fire, spread so tight the stakes get higher. Institutional flow, he's the supplier. Positions held till charts retire. Data feeds, news he reads, Fibonacci maps to see. Supply demand his mind exceeds. Trades ignite like lightning speed. Stop loss tight, take profit wide. Leads precision, unmatched drive. Liquidity pools, banks coincide. Retail's blind, leads the guide. Charts unfold, the stories told. Entry bold, accounts in gold. Trade by trade, the wins are sold. Market alchemy, legends mode. Whoa, 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 whoa. Markets run. Lead the reason markets run. Lead the reason markets run.
Digital sheen, open in range, his weapon so keen. He's the structured trader, a market machine. Bank moves, he mimics, he plays their game. In mirror version, glory is his claim to fame. Market structure king, watch him do his thing. Pips and points, the for the swing, he wins the fight. Risk is measured, the balance precise. Lee's on the rise, he rolls the
Good afternoon. How are we all doing? Happy Friday. Oh, hang on a minute. I haven't got the chat window open. I don't know where anybody is. Let's do that first. How's everybody this fine whatever day we're on? Wednesday. Nothing working today. Oh, hello, it's me. Let me just get the window out. There we go. Excellent. Right. Happy Wednesday afternoon, road. So this afternoon, we're going to look at obviously FX side of things, trade the indices, see how everything's going. Very annoying morning so far. The DAX has ruined everything. I had this beautiful P&L up until this morning. Literally 5 solid weeks, nothing but gains. Day by day, nothing but gains. And then the DAX today destroyed it, ruined it. So I'm hoping the US indices this afternoon are just going to get it all back. But yeah, DAX today was awful. The 5-minute range was too small. Sorry, that's the 5-minute range there. 10-minute range was within the 5-minute range. 15-minute range, short break, stopped out within 1 candle, flipped long, stopped out within half an hour, and then it just went sideways. And we managed to get a tiny break, but until the last sort of hour, we haven't actually made any progress. So shocking morning on the DAX. First morning we've had that's been sideways on the DAX, obviously after this parabolic drop. So we've had 3 days of solid profits. So if you look at the P&L, basically, the last 3 days, 16, 17% odd, quite a big portion of that is DAX. So I'll let it off. I'll give it a day, but only a day. So indices are open. We'll see where we go on these this afternoon. Just quickly looking over at news today. We've had the wage price index this morning, which came out bang on forecast. CPI for the pound, 3.6 on the 3.5 forecast. So inflation has gone up higher than forecast, which is bullish for the pound because it means stable or increasing interest rates. However, it is still lower than the previous reading year on year. So it is going in the right direction, but just not quite as fast as they thought it was. So if you look at the pound pairs today, if we look at ADRs, there's no ADRs on the pound. So as you can see, the market hasn't really paid a massive amount of attention to it today. Not a particularly big move. We had a little sort of whip off of it, but nothing particularly drastic. So no movement on the pound. That was the main news today. We've got the FOMC meeting minutes this evening. Probably won't do anything. It is just meeting minutes. It's not actually interest rates or anything. Maybe something in there we don't know. They are still forecasting another drop in December's meeting. So another drop in the US dollar, which should be bearish US dollar. So if they come out and confirm that, we might get some bearishness in the dollar this evening. But we'll have to wait and see. And tomorrow we've got the unemployment rate, which we haven't had for ages. I'd be very surprised if that comes out the same. We'll see. But I think we'll probably get some movement on the dollar tomorrow. Non-farm employment changes also being released. So, there's a lot of news coming out tomorrow with the unemployment claims and everything as well. So big movements potentially on the dollar tomorrow. And then Friday, we've got retail sales and it's PMI day. So there's lots of PMI stuff going on. So busy old day from that respect tomorrow and Friday, but nothing much else today. And as you can see, not a massive amount of movement today. Right, Dow triggered long. No trade on gold at the moment. NASDAQ range too small. So we'll see if we can get some money out of gold. Gold's been paying out very nicely over the last few days as well. We've had some really good movement on that. So we'll see where we go today. Afternoon, everybody else. Hawkeye, good name. Marco, Crom, Joe, how we doing? Afternoon, David. Just for those members, I can't tell who's a member and who's not because the names are all different. But anyway, we had a member stream this morning looking at a gold strategy, which prompted me to start looking at the turtle trading strategy again, which we looked at in the members group. I've just done quite a bit of testing on it this morning. just to get some data out for stock indices on it. And I've done a portfolio analysis on it, which is here. And it's quite a good return. So it's 3.5 return on drawdown. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you weren't a member in the member stream this morning. Sorry. But we're talking about the turtle strategy, which is a strategy we were looking at a few weeks ago. But this is the results of a 4-hour test. And basically what it is, the turtle strategy, just to explain for those that don't know. If you're not familiar with the turtles, you should be. I built an EA to trade a turtle strategy, which is a 10-bar breakout, basically, which scales in as it goes. So what it does, I'll just show you quickly. While we're waiting for the market to actually do something. What it does basically is it takes a trade on a 10-bar range and then it reduces risk based on ATR. So when you take a break, it will scale in based on ATR. So there's an entry, there's another entry, and it reduces the stop risk to be no more than a set percentage risk, and it targets a percentage return, as obviously all trading does. But basically, because it scales in and adds to the trades, how's that taken 4? Oh yeah, 3 add-ins on the first one. Yeah, when it actually gets a trade on, it's a trend strategy. So obviously, it's got a very, very, very high failure rate. Trend strategies never hit more than 30-40% usually. This one does. When you get those trades that work out, the profit on them is very big. So the equity curve is very, very nice. If I turn the portfolio off and look at the sub-equities, very nice equity curve because you get these lovely big spike ups when you get these trades that win, because it's a trend trading strategy. The idea is to hold on to that profit, basically. So yeah, just for those in the member stream this morning, I haven't looked at the turtle. The turtle strategy and the gold strategy testing is one of the things that's been on my list for ages. So I decided to get on with it this morning. And there's the equity curve on the 4-hour chart. So that is trading 4-hour breaks. So yeah, looks good. That's only about 2.5-3 years of testing. So it's not obviously a conclusive test. I haven't done out of sample and other things on it, but equity curve looks good. So it's a 168% return in 3 years, which is not amazing. It's a trend strategy. So you're looking at roughly 20% a year, maybe. Actually, that's not right, is it? 16,800 on a 10K account. Yeah, 61%. Yeah, 61% a year it should be. Why is it saying 20.3? Oh, it's got the wrong stats in there, isn't it? There we go. That's better. 61% return. So yeah, looks pretty good. But I will work more on that. It's it's a trend strategy, so it's going to lose a lot. 46% though with a trend strategy, that's high. Not normally get 46% return on a trend strategy, do you? But anyway, it's in my list to carry on working on. Right, so we've got 10-minute ranges on gold and on the Nasdaq today. Dow is an inside bar on the 10-minute range, so that's struggling at the moment. If we have a quick look at where we're potentially going with these today. So Nasdaq, obviously, same as all the other indices, we've had this big drop over the last few days. Tuesday, yesterday, was still a down day. Down day on Monday. We had an ever so slight attempt to go bull on Friday, which they didn't hold. So upside and downside targets today are actually quite easy. That's yesterday's high, that's yesterday's low. If we're going to stay inside bar today, we are not going to get there or there. So inside bars are a hell of a lot rarer than normal directional candlesticks. So there is a high probability of taking out that high and that low. Therefore, these partial targets today are well within range of what we can get to. So long on the Nasdaq. So upside target on the Nasdaq. You need to watch this end of session high from New York yesterday. And then obviously we've got the Globex. I don't know what that is actually. It's not really even Globex high or low. That's bang in the middle of Globex. That was a 50% retracement roughly. That's where we opened up. So we've got this little area here prior to the open yesterday. Gold obviously is all over the place at the moment after this nice big drop. So no triggers on that yet. Upside targets, you're looking at the low from Thursday last week. That is the Globex low before the New York Open. So this area here to the upside is a good upside resistance. Downside, we've got Globex low today and yesterday's high. So we've already reacted at yesterday's high during Globex. So potentially we might get a double bottom bounce off of that today. If not, obviously we're looking at this area down here, which is what we bounced out of there. So there's quite a few downside and downside resistances, or rather supports today. No upside resistance for ages. The Dow stuck fast. Dow upside is end of session yesterday. Downside, we're going to need to break yesterday's low. Just quickly look at the Dow. Longer term, where are we? Coming off this propulsion move here, which is where we stalled out yesterday. So we got that monthly low, which is a triple bottom at 125 ADR. So if we break this low today, you could potentially find more buyers in here anywhere. However, if that fails, we're looking at a triple bottom test at 125 ADR. So there's loads of room to the downside. Why have I got this ATR on there? I've obviously been talking about ATR. Upside targets, obviously propulsion gap to the upside. But as you can see, this is not happy at the moment. Industrial stocks, not doing well. No stocks are doing well, to be honest, if you look at all of them. ADR on US dollar yen. DAX, obviously, big down. Dow, S&P, new lows gone in yesterday. Market structure lows. But we're also coming down to this bottom where we're potentially going to bounce from as well. And NASDAQ, we're right down there. So NASDAQ, that triple bottom monthly low, not far beyond yesterday's low. So there's potential if we break that level for that bear market to start. So don't forget, we're talking about bear markets at the moment. We are getting to the point. We're down at the 72 moving average. This is your quarterly moving average. If we break the quarterly moving average, we're in a bear market, basically. So yeah, we very rarely, as you can see with stock indices, break the 72. So for us to drop below a quarterly average price, that's a confirmation we are bear. Yeah, we are there right now. So if we get below that level, there is potential for a good month to 2 month bear run. Yeah, this is Trump. So it's guaranteed to have a bear market when Trump got in, obviously. Can't remember what it was he was talking about that I heard the other day. And I was like, just talking nonsense. Basically, you know what he does? Whenever there's something going well, he goes, I did this. And whatever it was, I can't remember what it was, but it was, inflation. Yeah, inflation started coming down before he got in. So he got in January, it started coming down late last year. So what does he do? I made inflation come down. Stock market hits all-time highs. I made the stock market hit all-time highs. It does it every year, Donald. It goes up. Anyway. So yeah. Gotta love him. Gotta love him for trying. Some people just don't understand and they will just take everything he says at word. But anyway. Right. Inside bars on the Dow, no movement. NASDAQ break to the upside is underway. And inside bars on gold. Not the most explosive open we've ever seen, is it? Yes, but on lower time frames like M15, it has better results. Yes, it does, but the drawdown is, as you say, a lot bigger. So just save this. So the 15 minutes. So that was the 15-minute settings. You get there's this. The thing with the 15-minute settings is, let me just take that off of there. I'll leave it doing that whole run. I'll let this run actually. There is a period which I've got marked on my chart here. Actually, I've just moved it. It was marked on my chart. It was from where was it from? There. It was September, from here, from September 2023 all the way up to there, around about April 2024. It goes into this parabolic drop, which is huge drawdown. And I've done an ATR analysis, I've done an ADR analysis, I've done a trend analysis, and I've done all sorts of analysis on this, and I cannot fathom why during that period the P&L drops. This is on the S&P, on the Dow. I haven't actually tested it on the Dow, but we'll see what happens. I've only tested it on the NASDAQ, but it just drops in that period, and there's no reason for it, because if you look at say this period here, similar. You look at this period here, similar. We got this period here, similar. Yeah, why does that not perform? So I've tried trend filters, I've tried ADR filters, I've tried everything. I can't get that P&L flattened out in that area, and I don't know why. So there's something going wrong. What is that doing? Where's the graph not showing up? Oh, good. The terminal's locked up. There you go. Yeah, so Dow, look, and this is one of the reasons on the 15-minute time frame I've kind of dropped it and I'm pursuing the 4-hour time frame, because I can't get it to work very well on anything that is not NASDAQ. It works really well on the NASDAQ, but it doesn't work on the Dow. Now, if you're going to do robustness testing on stock indices, any strategy that you run on a stock index, a US stock index, should work on all US stock indexes because their characteristics are the same. If you look at the NASDAQ there, and I switch over to the S&P 500, yeah, it's the same chart. I didn't even notice it changed there because it is pretty much the same chart. Okay, NASDAQ, S&P 500, same thing. You look at the Dow, virtually the same thing. Okay, so if it works on the NASDAQ and doesn't work on the Dow, typically it's curve fit. So that equity curve on the NASDAQ that we looked at doesn't repeat itself on any other index. So it's not robust, which is why I've started looking at the 4-hour, because that is closer to the actual turtle time frame that the original strategy was developed on. We're not going anywhere at the moment. NASDAQ, we are broken long, which is good. Afternoon, ladies. I noticed I had rather small data in the terminal, so I need to work on thick data. Yeah, thick data, tick data. In position trading, are you long S&P 500 stroke DAX? I was. No, I am still, yeah. I closed out some DAX on the 12th. Oh, yeah, no, I am still long, yeah. Yeah, so I closed out the last DAX on the 12th. So, yeah, I am long DAX and I am long Dow at the moment on the pullbacks. Going to stop out on the Dow. This is not going long today, is it? Very heavy, the Dow. NASDAQ isn't there. It's pumping high. Why is this taking so long? This terminal has absolutely ground to a halt. I think I've got too many terminals open. Right, so looking at the... I'll let that run. I'll look at it later when it bleeps at me. Looking at ADRs today, oil has hit ADR. Oh, God's sake. Wow, this is really slow today. So yeah, ADR hit on oil. Oil is back down to $59 a barrel. So we were looking like we'd put in this bottom here. And we got a little bit of a gap up and we sat around for a couple of days. And then yesterday it looked like we were going to take off. And it's completely reversed the whole thing today. So 125 ADR on oil. If you look at this on higher time frames, we looked at this $55 a barrel as being the lows. I can't even draw. My pen won't even draw. What the hell is going on with my computer today? It's like it's gone to a go slow. It's because I'm doing a back test. Shouldn't do back tests live on the stream. So we pulled back into this propulsion move from $55 a barrel. And we were looking basically for a market structure shift here. And it's struggling, really struggling. So there is an ADR opportunity to go long at the moment here today, in the anticipation that we are going to come up and test that $65 a barrel up at the highs there. So if you look on lower time frames, reversal alert went in at 125 ADR there, but that has just literally just been invalidated. So new one going in here. So this may well be the reversal today. 15-minute time frame. You haven't had one today on the 15. So if we break that high there, that will be your first reversal alert on the 15-minute time frame today on oil. So there's a good opportunity there. That back test just finished. There you go. So that is the NASDAQ equity curve. This is the bit I was talking about. Yeah, I've tried everything, every filter under the sun that I've ever come across to try and get rid of that. Can't filter that out. I've tried trend filters. I've tried same candles, same time frame trend filters. Tried daily trend filters. I've tried PASR, not PASR, other filters, loads of them. Just doesn't work. So that, I don't know why that is there, because the market at that time was trending really nicely. This is a trend strategy. Therefore, when the market is trending nicely, that happens. When the market doesn't trend, we stagnate or go into drawdown. Yeah, this was a trend period in the market. For some reason, it just lost money. So I don't know what that is. It's an anomaly, which I can't figure out. But if you take that out of the equation, which we're not going to because it happened, and prolong that extension on the back of there, the equity curve is really nice on the NASDAQ on 15-minute. When you see equity curves like that, they tend to be curve fit. It's too perfect. So, but yeah, return is 120% in 3 years with an 8K drawdown. So it's a big drawdown. But that big drawdown there is this, which I can't figure out why it's even there. Yeah, doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Usually, what the easiest way to filter this out. So if I scroll out to roughly where we are, yeah. So that this test starts back in January 23, I think. When do we go from? Yeah, so January 23 we start from. That's October. So that line there is January 23. So this whole equity curve here is, can't go back any further that way, can I? Sort of move back like that a little bit. God, this terminal is just absolutely dying. So that basically there, that whole lot is this equity curve. And you can see you've got this big dip here, which is here, somewhere around there. There's absolutely no reason for a trend strategy to fail in It didn't fail there. It didn't fail there. It didn't fail there. It didn't fail there. Why would it fail there? It's absolutely nothing different going on there. That trend here, if you look at this, the size of the candle, I've analyzed the size, I've analyzed everything. Literally, I've analyzed everything on it. If you stick ADR on this, yeah, if I stick ADR 10 on here, it's been bugging me all morning, right? Look at the ADR here in that trend, in the equity curve. Look at the ADR here in that entire trend, in the equity curve. That shouldn't happen with this being identical. If the average daily range is the same, there's no reason for that equity curve to drop. So, I don't know, it's an absolute mystery. So anyway, I went up to H4, and H4 produces beautiful equity curves. A lot less trades, so you just take higher risk. Right, anyway, ADRs. Gone off on a complete tangent. Silver has hit ADR as well today. Gold has not, but silver has. Terminal, just not updating at the moment. So reverse alert on that one is all the way down there, but 5-minute reverse alert. Crikey, 5-minute reverse alert's in the same place. You can't even get a trade on that today. Look at that parabolic move. So it's coming out of that as well. So yeah, no trades on there. The other big one we've got is Euro Yen, which I've just got short on myself. And now it's started to push back up again. Yeah, so that reversal alert and retest I took. And it's just gone sideways. But that's a nice 125 ADR today on Euro Yen. You've also got US dollar yen up at 125 ADR as well. That's still going parabolic. So lots of weakness in the yen at the moment. RSI wise, there's nothing really extended. We've got a few extensions. CAD Swiss is extended. CAD Yen is extended on the 4 hour, but nothing really big extended wise at the moment. This is getting there. The CAD Swiss. So potentially opportunities on the CAD Swiss. CAD Yen is up at ADR as well. So 4 hour extension on that. You've got divergence in play at the moment here. So we've got bearish divergence going in there as well. We've got, I don't like level divergences, but we have got a bearish level divergence at the 80 point here. We've got price pushing higher, but RSI not pushing higher. That is over a course of 2 weeks though. So that looks good. Yeah. For a reversal, we just need some catalysts to start this off, basically. But yeah, lots of getting theirs, but I'd like to see it back over the 80 level. On the hourly time frames, there's not an awful lot at the moment because it's not really been moving massively. So long on the Dow, phew, that was lucky. TP hit on the NASDAQ. TP1 done. Dow. Thank you, Mr. Broker, for not stopping me out there. That was close. Long gold. Market's gone parabolic. What have we just had? Is Trump awake? Just a big dump in the market. There's no news come through. Yeah, just a big dump into the market there. All good. So back to break even, 2% on the table. Good. Afternoon, Mimo. Afternoon, Elevated. How are you doing? If anybody's got any pairs they want to look at specifically, let me know. Pound yen has also hit ADR. I don't know why they're selling off the pound so much today. Possibly we are having a rejig at the moment ahead of the news tomorrow. So this is the first batch of US dollar news we've had for 6-7 weeks now. Yeah. So what we could be seeing here is a load of money coming out of the yen and potentially getting ready to take some moves on this dollar, basically. So we don't know which way the dollar is going to go tomorrow, obviously, at the moment. It could go absolutely anywhere. Swiss franc week as well. So this looks like we're going into greed, risk on, basically. So when you get a drop in the Swiss franc and a drop in the yen, they're pulling money out of safe havens, which means they're putting it into assets that they think are going to overperform, which tends to be stocks. Stocks up. So yen down, Swiss down, stock market up. Hence, we're seeing this little spike going on at the same time as we're getting this dump on the rest of it. US dollar Swiss ADR. So opportunities for shorts on these as well. So there's quite a few opportunities today. But it's all still going in the same direction at the moment. Nvidia earnings. Is there Nvidia earnings? They won't be coming out until after market though, will they? Unless they're already out. Shouldn't be. Yeah, after market. So we won't get those till after market. So this could be speculative buying for that. They're anticipating good Nvidia figures, so we might be going piling into NASDAQ. Obviously, it looks like that's what's happening, and it will take the rest of the stocks up. But yeah, that could be what's going on. And if that's the case, just hold it, because it's Nvidia, biggest company on the planet pretty much now, isn't it? So yeah, we could easily see we're coming up to yesterday's high now. So watch yesterday's high as a potential level. Next upside resistance is there. So this area here, obviously from Monday, was yesterday's high resistance, which is where we're attempting to reach now. And then we've got this area from the close on Friday, which we kind of retested and flip-flopped around, but it kind of traded through it a lot. So it's weak upside resistance, I would say, at best. That is a stronger level there. But we got to get there yet. All stocks rallying at the moment. And also gold rallying as well, which is a little bit odd. Normally that would do the inverse to the indices, but do you discuss Swiss yen? I can do. There's not really a lot to discuss, is there? It's not been doing much for the last 3 days. Obviously, this move to the upside, we'll be looking for a retracement back down into here. So 175 ADR to the downside would be target down there, which is roughly 50% retracement on that last leg up. So if we're going to continue long, that's the obvious level somewhere around here that you're going to find support. So propulsion gaps basically are breaks of resistance. So when you hit resistance, when you break through it, you break through it with large volume, because short players flip long and do a stop and reverse order, giving you twice as much volume going through the market, which creates a propulsion gap. The market then trades back down to complete the inefficiency created by that propulsion gap. At that point, if the interest is the same as it was here, you'll basically get rebuys. So everybody that flipped from their shorts into their longs at this point will be adding into their longs there, taking you up onto your second leg, which is what causes market structure. So that will be where I would look to get out of shorts if you're short. RSI extension went in on this, depending on where you depends on where you got in. You would have definitely been in if you're trading 75. You'd have been in there short. ADR is 128, and we did 280. So you'd be in probably second, third, probably 3 short with an average around there. So that gives you a nice 3/4 of an ADR TP. If you got in much earlier than that, obviously back down here, then you'd be in probably 4. Maybe 5, depending what price action was. Euro Swiss 125 ADR. Wow. Really killing the Swiss franc. And Euro US dollar as well. Massive move down on the Euro US dollar. I would assume that pound US dollar is also massively down, not as much. So this is strength in the US dollar coming through. Very strong US dollar. Don't like this gold long at all. So gold upside target is there, which is this previous area, that propulsion move and retest. So what I was just talking about, everyone was short here. Yeah, we got there. The shorts basically got run over, so they flip long, which creates a propulsion move. That's your propulsion gap. Come in, retest, propulsion, and leg up. So that's what we just looked at on that other chart. That's the aftermath of it. And then obviously we got the inverse happening. So this propulsion move here. Yeah, so we've got a propulsion gap here. That is the break of that short. So we hit that level. They bought it. They hit that level. They tried to rebuy it. They got one over. They all flipped short. So when we get back into there, that's where we would enter our second leg of shorts. But as this is a US dollar cross and the US dollar is rallying so hard at the moment, it's going to be hard for this to make ground, because obviously if the dollar is strong, this is the cross of the dollar, this would come down, wouldn't it? So we'll see, but I'm not as keen on that. So if I'm just going to pull my stop up on this as well, just to lock in some more profit. So if this gets to TP, that'll be locked in. I will probably just break even that gold trade. Just there's no point in taking a loss on that because the dollar's really strong. So there's a good chance that that might come back down again. So if I can hit TP on that, I've already hit TP on that. These two will pay for the DAX losses today and then break even on that. It becomes a profitable day. Then we don't have to worry about it for the rest of the day. And I can go on and do other things. Going for a sports massage this evening. In case you're interested. Never had one before. So I'm looking forward to the pain. Aussie New Zealand going up, preparing to crash. That had already crashed. So we got a lot further to go on this. This is just the start. We just had the 4-hour reversal alert going in. So literally, stick a fib on this. Doesn't really matter where you take it from. It's a big move. So we've just had the reversal alert there and the retest, but the retest has failed. It didn't quite get down into that monthly high or that monthly high. So this area here is your resistance, which got broken. So I would look at this pushing back up into here and then coming back down from there. We haven't got any news, I don't think, forecast for the Aussie or New Zealand at all this week. We've had it, haven't we? So the only news we had was the wage price increase, which, you know, didn't actually do anything. Why is there no data on that? Where's the data gone? Weird. Why haven't I got any data on the wage price index? odd. But yeah, that's the only news we've had, Aussie. So yeah, this is open now to go either way, but obviously that is the logical way to go, because if you look at what we've done on this, so if you take that fib, I'm never going to be able to grab that. Too many lines over it. Oh, I can grab it. So no, I didn't. Where's it gone? Okay. So if you grab that fib and put it there, yeah, we got a 23 retracement from that high. So we pushed, and that is the first pullback we got, which is a flag break. So this has not done at least a standard pullback yet. It hasn't had a 38 retracement minimum you would expect on a market structure pullback usually, if it's not just going to be a flag. So right from where we are now, that propulsion gap there, which is the break of that high, that would be my target, which is the monthly low. So I think you're at least going to get down there, which is another, from where we are today, you're looking at 500% of ADR, maybe. So there's loads and loads and loads of room. You know, there's just tons of it. If you look at moves, I can't really do it on a 4-hour chart. I can't go back far enough. But if you look at the parabolic moves we get on the Aussie New Zealand, which we do get, it does it every now and again. It will just go parabolic when there's a shift. Yeah, you know, that's where we are now. It's equivalent to these. Look at the pullback, 50%. Look at the pullback, more than 50%. Yeah. Every push, you get a 50% pullback. Every push, you get a 50% pullback. Push, pull, push, pull. Pull, push. Doesn't matter which way you go. It's either a pull or a push, but it's always a retracement. We haven't had it. We are going to get it. That is the obvious place to come back to. 61.8 retracement, previous highs. That is a shallow pullback into the 72 moving average if we're going to continue long. But, you know, it doesn't do that. It's very uncharacteristic for this pair to not, you know, to do that and then just carry on. So definitely looking for shorts on that. Any hourly pushes above RSI, which you are exactly at now, that's where you want to short it. So start looking for shorts. Any market reversal alerts on M15, M5? Good opportunities. Four shorts on that one, yeah. Does a strong dollar affect oil price? Yeah, but not as much. Oil is priced in dollars, in US dollars, but and it's obviously produced, a lot of oil is produced in the US, but the vast majority of it is produced outside the US. Although it's priced in dollars. So if the dollar drops, the price of oil will struggle to go higher. Hence, we are struggling to go higher because the dollar has been massively weak, isn't it? If you look at the pound US dollar, not recently, but whoops, wait. Yeah, we've been massively rallying. Everything's been massively rallying against the dollar. So everything's going up against the dollar. The dollar has stabilized now. So update my printer. What are you doing? So yeah, oil. This is why I think oil should start to rise going forward. Now we are starting to get some strength in that dollar. So everything looks like it's ready to go on this. It's just stalling out and it can't get going. The global demand for oil is actually still increasing, even though we are moving over to electric, hydrogen, all sorts of other renewables. The demand is still going up, and OPEC very cleverly balances supply to make sure that the demand and supply are met, so that you don't get those stupid rockets in price. But this level, this $55 a barrel, is the line in the sand where all the oil producers, all of them, apart from Trump, wants to stay above. Trump would rather it was down here, because what he's looking to do is not rely on oil for money. He's looking to rely on everybody else manufacturing everything else in the US. There's somebody at the door. So anyway, yeah, looks good for a long for me, but struggling. Gold is now off. We are up. Dow is about to hit target. Actually, it's not. It's quite away from target yet. On its way though. Gold is up there. So Nasdaq has just broken through first resistance. So watch this 24,500 is your big round number. Resistance to the upside, which is this level here. Not particularly strong, as I say. We've tested it a couple of times, but we have also traded through it on Monday, sorry. So I wouldn't say it's particularly strong. Just going to reduce risk ever so slightly on this gold because I just don't trust it at the moment. Normally, when you get strength in the indices, the gold will struggle to go long because gold is a safe haven currency as well. So obviously, when you go into risk off, i.e., greed mode, you tend to pull money out of safe havens, gold. So you would see gold typically take a bit of a tumble when we see rallies in the stock market. So I don't trust this break long as much as I normally would because I'm just seeing so much strength today in the indices. Dow stalling out. We are stalling out on that as well. I think I'm going to take a partial here on the Dow. I'm just going to protect the rest of that. That's a big rejection. We've got a little bit of rejection coming in on the Nasdaq, and the DAX is also starting to look a little bit heavy. So I'm just going to take a partial on it just to lock the day in. Nasdaq's going to bank roughly 0.5% more anyway, and obviously oil is the main runner now. So day is locked in. In fact, I am also going to lock in gold. I'm just going to break even. Don't want to risk it. I just want this green. When you get to this point and you just like everything's green, you just think, I'm not letting any red in. And I become overcautious, but it's not a bad thing because when you are like this, you want to be overcautious because you want to protect your gains, basically. There's no point in taking super high risk because super high risk and super high losses then create chasing. And when you start chasing, you start losing money. So put it in the bank. Right, pound Swiss. Weekly range on the pound Swiss. We are only on Wednesday, so pound Swiss has hit its weekly range, which is 120. Yeah, 2 ADR. So weekly range gone in on the pound Swiss. We are also at weekly range on the euro Swiss. Actually, we're 125% of the weekly range on the euro Swiss. But that is obviously the last 2 days that rallying out of the Swiss franc. So we are in a lovely propulsion gap as well. So this is the highest upside propulsion gap. So that would be your next target to the downside. This looks really good for shorts now, this Euro Swiss. And DAX, and stock indices can do what they like, but the DAX has also hit its weekly range, 125% of its weekly range, which it also did last week as well. Big selling off. That's starting to pop a little bit now, look. So hourly, you are just about to get a reversal alert on the hourly time frame. There's your reversal. So if we are going to pull back on this leg, you should easily be able to get into that propulsion move, but possibly here or here. if we're going to continue in a bear market. So all these previous propulsion gaps now all filled to the downside. So everything that we had to the downside is now complete. So all we've got is targets to the upside to aim for now. And we are in a range. So this is a new range low on the hourly. If you look at the 4 hour, we're literally holding this range at the minute. Yeah, you got a slight interim range here. Got these lows here, these previous highs, and we've got these lows, that high there. So that's your range high, and then you've got another sort of range high around there as well. That's the most recent weekly high. So this whole area here is your upside range, and this whole area here is your downside range at the moment. So if we're going to do what we've been doing since April, we're going up. But if everybody is right and they think this bear market is starting, that's where we're headed. Trump. So that's where Trump got in. And obviously that was all his fault, this rally. Yeah, so forget this bit, but that was his fault. This new high that we got made, high of all time, that was why, because he got in. Not because we undid everyone scared of what he was doing when he got in, but he made that happen. But there's nothing to do with him. He made that happen. So yeah, looks good for potential longs if you think we are staying range bound and we are staying not in a bear market, i.e. range bound or bullish. Good. 15-minute range reversal that's already gone in. There's your reversal. Watch this gap as well. Once that gap's filled, we could turn tail, but that was the right call on the Dow. Just a silly question. Never a silly question unless you ask it twice. I know RoboForex is popular with copy trading. Why don't you start yours? I don't like copy trading. I like to teach people to trade. If I go tilt, you go tilt. Simple as that. I'm responsible for my mortgage, not yours. Just don't want to do it. Never have. There's loads of copy. I mean, I've set up signals before on MQL5, and basically the problem with signal services, from my perspective, is when a trade happens, if within 24 to 48 hours that trade isn't closed, people contact you and say, this isn't working. And it is working. I get people contacting me all the time. I had one this morning, actually, saying, I installed the position trader EA on Sunday night. It's now Wednesday and it hasn't traded. Have you set it up to trade hourly reversals, and has there been any signals? I don't know. Well, you should answer your own question. If you put in an EA in your chart, you should understand how it operates and understand what it's doing. Same with signal services. If I send a signal out without telling anybody exactly what the strategy is, how the strategy works, when it should be getting out, what the stop loss is, and everything about that particular trade, all that happens is you get bombarded with questions. And it's just an absolute pain in the arse to run, which is why I've not done it. And that's why I took my signals off of MQL5, basically, when I did it, because it's just a pain. So I'm not here to make money out of selling signals. I'd rather people traded their own accounts. Yeah, get the position trader EA or the opening range breakout EA. What I'm showing you here is my product, opening range breakout EA, trading on my chart. You could copy this by just buying the EA. Admittedly, the decisions I make, like that one and moving that to break even, are my decisions. But, if I make the wrong decision, I'll also get chastised. Yeah. So if this now, right, if I hadn't have taken that and this goes to stop loss, fine. But because I've taken this and then it comes back down and stops out the rest of it at break even, I'll get asked why I didn't let it run to target. And then I have to give a judgment as to why I made that decision. Now, if what it does now is this, and then flies up to 10 ADR today, I will get asked why I took profit early. There is no signal that you can provide that is right, because it's either out too soon, or it's in too soon, or the stop is too tight, or the stop is too loose, because it's never right, because what everybody wants is a Lamborghini within 5 minutes, and you can't provide that. So I'm not interested. Also, I also don't want the responsibility of, if someone sticks 10 grand in an account and we have a bad run, right, and it loses 15%, before it makes 30% in the next month, what happens to that person's mortgage? I'm not responsible for everybody's mortgages, and I don't want to be responsible for people's mortgages. I'm not a qualified financial advisor. I just trade. So, there's lots of reasons why I don't do it. But if I could set up an anonymous signal service as some random bloke. But then if I told you about it, you'd know about it, and it wouldn't be anonymous, would it? I can't win, honestly. It's a no-win situation, signal services. 99% of signal services fail, but they don't fail because the signals are necessarily crap. They fail because people follow the signals and either interfere with them, or the signals have a bad run and then they stop following the signals, leave a bad review just before the signal goes parabolic. Yeah. Look at my P&L. It's nothing but green. 2 weeks ago, actually like 5-6 weeks ago, there was plenty of red in it. But what would have happened is, when I had plenty of red in it, if people were following me, they would have stopped following me. And what they would have missed is the 53% gain, because they started here as we were pulling back in our P&L. I can't help that. We are going to pull back in our P&L because it's just part of trading. But you can't explain this to people that follow signal services, because they're usually just after a quick buck, not a long-term gain. So, you just can't win. Honestly, it's just not something I really am interested in doing. I've actually got a website ready to go, fully set up for signal services. And it's been on the back burner for a while. It's fully operational as well. But too scared to launch it. Honest answer. How is Lucid trading? It's good. I think from I don't know. How is Lucid trading? Have you asked him? I think from now on, I'm only going with instant funded in futures. Yes, that would be my advice. I passed, right? You've seen how good it's been, right? I passed 4 out of 5. And, this is the thing about trading, right? Over the last 3 weeks, I've passed 4 out of 5 evaluations that I've run. I've only run 5. I passed 4 of them. Yeah, same thing as I teach in the bootcamp. The same strategy I teach in the bootcamp, in the MST Academy. I stopped calling it bootcamp. It's not bootcamp. But same strategy I teach in the MST Academy, right? I lost one of those funded accounts this week. Look at the gains, right? Why did I lose it? Because it drew down by more than 2K. Yeah, that's why I lost it. I've generated 22.18% on the account that copied onto the funded account. And that is the actual gain, right? But the funded account blew one of them because it ran up and ran down by 2K. And that is the max drawdown. Yeah, this is why prop is so crap. It's great, it's fun, and it's a cheap way of getting money. And a lot of the time when you draw out, you can make a nice amount of money. But you can make an absolute fortune if you don't use prop, because prop restricts you from making money because you take these stupid account blows for no reason. I had a period basically where we had a parabolic move, right? I took, I can't remember which one it was. It was one of them. But I took, it was a 3 contract it took. It took a partial with 1 contract. Okay. And then on the way back down, it couldn't trigger the short because the way that duplicative copies basically from CFDs into futures, it couldn't close the short. I wasn't paying attention. So what happened was it took profit, ran itself up to something like 2.5K, and then drew back down to what would normally be a break even. But because I went up by 2.5 and came back down to break even, that 2K drop was over their rules. Yeah. So I made $500 on the day, but because I ran up by 2.5 and came back down by 2, they took the account away. Utter lunacy. I made $500. I made tons of money, but they have rules in place which stops you getting paid. And it doesn't matter if it's Lucid, doesn't matter if it's Top Step, Take Profit Trader, don't care what the prop firm is, they all have exactly the same rule. They move you over onto a mechanism which takes it away. Ludicrous. But it's all about playing the game, yeah? So, yeah, I've lost 1. I've still got 3. So I'm down $200 on those accounts, yeah? So I've paid $98 per account. I've lost 1 in evaluation. I've lost 1 in funded. I've got 3. So what have I got to do? Make $200 plus the $300 I paid for those. So I've got to make $500. Yeah. So I've got to trade the account up to 2.5K so that I can withdraw 500 of that 2.5K, yeah, to pay myself, and then hope that it doesn't blow that 2K before I manage to get more profit out of it. This is how ludicrous it is, yeah. I'd love to start a proper prop firm where actually they do take your trades and they do use rules that we all use in trading. Yeah. Just let me have drawdown. That's what it's there for. It's there to be drawn down into. That's why we call it drawdown. We don't call it lose your account and blow yourself up, do we? We call it drawdown because it draws down before it pops. Yeah. It's an equity curve. Equity curves do this. Yeah. Don't take my account away because I'm in the point before I make 50% on the account. It's just nuts. Anyway, rant over. So yes, I love Lucid. But anyway, I've always wondered if regulators will step in. What regulators? They're gambling. It's a gambling commission, basically, that would need to step in. But it's not gambling either. I guess it is gambling. I don't know how they're licensed, but you know, it's not real money. They do all now say, don't they? So you know, when you go to Take Profit Trader, they do tell you that none of this is real. It's all demo. Somewhere on here it says, but it's all demo. You know, this is the difference, isn't it? This is what gets you. There's always one rule somewhere that gets you. With Take Profit Trader, it's the end of day trailing drawdown. It's like drawdown. It's like, yeah, that's exactly what I want. So if I go up by 5K in a day and I come down by 5K in a day, what you're saying is don't go down by 2K from what you started at. No problem. If I go up by 5 and come down by 5, what have I not done? Gone down by 2. As soon as you pass the evaluation, that end of day disappears and it becomes trailing drawdown, intraday. So you go up by 5, you come down by 2, you blow your account. What have you done? You've made 3K and lost it. Where else on the planet can you make 3K and lose money? Nuts. Just nuts. But, you know, look, sim, live. No one gets there. No one gets there. And they've actually put it on here now. I didn't realize they had the whole journey. It will say in here, look, there we go. There's your drawdown. End of day. Easy peasy. I don't know many people that can't pass that. Yeah, that's easy to pass, right? You go long 5 contracts on the NASDAQ, close your eyes, cross your fingers, and wait for it to hit your target. Done. That's it. It's that easy. Yeah, because you've got 2K to play with. So basically you use that 2K to make 3K. Easy peasy. Then you get to there We run up by 2, we run down by 2. You're dead. Hang on a minute, I haven't lost any money. Yes, you have. And then when you get here that nobody gets to, they give you back the rule that you passed with. But you can't get past this bit to that bit. It's just... Anyway, I said rant was over. Rant obviously wasn't over. Rant is still going on. So out the Dow, out gold. I'm going to leave it there today, I think. I don't really want to go short on gold. This market's not really busy enough for me today, so I'm going to get out of those. Nasdaq's locked in. I'll cancel that off. Highly unlikely we'd ever get a short on the Nasdaq. It'd have to really come down hard to get a Nas short on today. So just going to let that trailer play out on the Nasdaq, see how far we can get. We've got new upside resistance coming at the 2500 level. That's ADR. So we'd need to get all the way up to there to hit ADR, which is the high of Monday, which then basically puts in new high of week, which makes the week start to look like a hammer. But yeah, that's all I'm going to let run today, and we'll see what we get out of that. Job done. What about Samuel Leach? I believe they allow drawdown. Don't know. Not looked at that. I think I have looked at it in the past. There's something wrong with it. Is it Leach? Oh, yeah. Who's this bloke? Is this Samuel Leach? Sorry, one-man band, prop firms. Not interesting. Complete a level 5 diploma equivalent to a foundation degree from 12 weeks, or take the advanced level 7 diploma equivalent to a master's degree from 6 weeks and gain industry recognized credentials. Sorry, this isn't a prop firm, is it? This is a course. I'm not going to say it. Almost said something then, which I'm not going to say. I can't find... where's their prop then? There's no prop here. This is a course. It's a trading course. Anyway. Right. That's all done for the day. So they are falling, these markets. I'm getting out of the Nasdaq. I'm just going to take it. Done. Small day today. 1.56%. Diminishing returns, but still returns at the end of the day. So we're struggling today. DAX has really struggled all day. It's very, very big, wide movements. I don't like it when it's like this. It's a bit tricky with the ORB because obviously you can get triggered. When you're moving this big, you can get triggered into a short and then stopped out on the pullback. So you want that sort of movement. Parabolic moves as we got today. So I'm just going to take that one there and call it a day. And we'll see how we get on rest of the week. So FX wise, obviously everything is moving dollar at the minute. We've got lots of big moves going in dollar. We've got lots of big moves going in Swiss. So there's lots of ADR opportunities at the moment today. So all of these potentially have got pullbacks before they continue, if they're going to continue. So just keep an eye on all these ADRs today. There's loads of them and they're still going. So they are all good opportunities. On 5s, you're going to get more signals, but 15s and 5s, you're looking at, if you are, you'd already be in on this one from, where I am, but there's lots of opportunities on these for pullbacks before we continue with them. US dollar yen now is 150 ADR. So a nice 3-bar reversal just gone in on that as well. Look. Yeah. Push, pause, pull. And a retest. And another 3-bar reversal. Yeah, so this is looking like it's good. The M pattern reversal. too far away to get the reverse alert signal, but you've got a 3-bar reversal followed by a 3-bar reversal. So that's potentially a nice drop, or it's a flag break long, one of those. It'll either go up or down from there. There's a 50-50 chance. But look at the move on the hourly. It's very extended now. So I'll be looking for a pullback into here. Possibly even another ADR to the downside, but that's pushing it. So watch this area here for a downside target if we're going to continue long. But loads of news tomorrow. Yeah, so this is why all this move's coming in. I think it's precursor to all this news we got coming for the US. We haven't had it for ages. So I think we've got some strong moves coming one way or the other for the dollar. Right, so I'm back on Friday. Again, as usual, the Friday we're not sure what we're doing on the Friday member stream at the moment because we've now finished all the MST Academy content. We've completed all of this. Excuse my phone. So we've completed all of that. That's what we did today, the gold scalping strategy. So yeah, Friday we'll think of something else to do in the member streams. If some members are going to get some of their plans for the position trader strategy over to me, then obviously I can look through those. But we've got other things we can look at. And then back on Friday afternoon, as usual, 2:30 for New York, for NASDAQ, etc. So, yeah, I'll see you then. But other than that, this is putting back quite hard now. So glad I got out of all of those today. So, yeah, back on Friday. Anything else you need, I'll be in Discord or Telegram. Other than that, have a good day, and I will see you next time.
Click, clack, charts attack, candlesticks, they spark the track. Lead move silent, market crack. Profit stack, no turning back. Opening range, that's the game. Breakout hits, never the same. Algorithms play, but he rewires the frame. Banks whisper his name. Flipping forex, indices flex, numbers dance. What's coming next? Green lights flash, P&L stretch. Risk managed, he never sweats. West fact buzz and traders peep. Lessons deep, no time to sleep. Market's a beast, Lee's got the leash. Feast at the feast, his game's elite. Market structures is domain. Leads the king, they know his name. Breakout sharp, he fuels the flame. Trading charts is not a game. Pip by pip, he stacking high. Mean reversion, banks comply. Leads the reason markets run. Leads the reason markets run. Candles lit, wicks on fire, spread so tight the stakes get higher. Institutional flow, he's the supplier. Positions held till charts retire. Data feeds, news he reads. Fibonacci maps to see. Supply demand, his mind exceeds. Trades ignite like lightning speed. Stop loss tight, take profit wide. Least precision, unmatched drive. Liquidity pools, banks coincide. Retail's blind, leads the guy. Charts unfold, the stories told. Entry bold, accounts in gold. Trade by trade, the wins are sold. Market alchemy, legends mode. Whoa, 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 whoa. Markets run. Lead the reason markets run. Lead the reason markets run.
Charts and candles, the digital sheen. Open in range, his weapon so keen. He's the structured trader, a market machine.